Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back for your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So recently, gold has been going on a major parabolic run to the upside since its lows back in 2022. Specifically right around almost $1,600 per ounce, and now it is sitting at $2,338. Now, what's crazy about this is gold was one of those assets that I did mention back in 2022 into even 2023, saying, you know, gold, silver, you need to be stacking up and diversifying outside of crypto as well, because again, there's so many key things to focus on as we are starting to see the world around currency and, you know, even digital assets. Everything is starting to change drastically. Tokenization itself is a very, very big deal. And even tokenization of gold, it's probably going to be one of the biggest things to really kind of focus on from now for the inevitable future. But the reason why I'm talking about gold, and the reason why I mentioned the gold chart on why it is going parabolic and things like that, is simply because, guess what? As we look at this, central banks around the world are accumulating gold at massive, massive rates. I've been talking about it. I've been addressing it. We have here from Gold Telegraph, China has now added to its gold reserves for 17 straight months. Many speculate they are buying more than what they are officially reporting. In late 2023, we saw the first ever cross-border settlement for gold using the digital yuan. The infrastructure is being built. Now, you might be questioning, what infrastructure are they talking about? Well, it seems as though we are moving towards a gold-backed digital financial system. And a lot of people think, oh, well, why would we do that? Why are we, you know, what is making you think that? Well, outside of just central banks accumulating massive amounts of gold, every single time in history, as we started to see major central banks buying gold, guess what? It typically led to a major change around the monetary system. But outside of that, we know that tokenization of gold opens up a ton of opportunities in terms of actually having a gold-backed system again. We also hear from many central banks that this is essentially their plan. They want a gold-backed digital system. Over here, we have countries are beginning to reintroduce gold into their monetary systems. Again, at a time where we've kind of been talking about it and addressing it with CBDCs and also digital currencies by directly utilizing it as a medium of exchange. Now, the thing about this is that gold as a medium of exchange is not extremely efficient. But if you have something that is digital, whether that be a CBDC, or even a stablecoin, anything, right? It could be backed one-to-one with an ounce of gold or even, you know, certain weights of gold. This is where we really kind of look at fractionalization of gold as well. You could fractionalize anything through tokenization. Now, instead of, you know, buying one gold bar or even 1 ounce of gold, you could buy even smaller fractions of it. That's why tokenization of gold is a very large deal. But we also have leaders worldwide are now desperately trying to stabilize their exchange rates with the most time-tested store of value. That is the signal. And this is a prediction going all the way back to 2021, actually from Gold Telegraph, where they said, we have a prediction. International trade will morph into a system that taps into central bank gold reserves in a digital type structure. In this cycle of financial repression, nations will need stability during trade. Gold provides that, and many of them already own it. Now, the thing about gold is, like I said, it's not an incredible medium of exchange. What we will start to see is gold play its key role. It will be the backing behind the system because it's something that is physical. You could see it. It's something that is, for the longest time, been a very valuable investment vehicle. A lot of people love gold. It's been one of the biggest things forever now for people to buy, hold, maintain, financial stability, things like that. But regardless, we go back to the gold standard, right? What really happened with the gold standard? Well, there was a few things problematic around the gold standard, but one of the biggest things that really kind of stood out was there wasn't enough supply of gold. That's where we start to see revaluations happen. That's where we could start to also see the idea of tokenization coming into play, right? Because if we do revalue gold and we start to see tokenization play its role in terms of fractionalizing gold into smaller, amounts, now you can back currencies with gold, and it could back the entire monetary system essentially as well. Because again, you're fractionalizing it. It's at a different valuation. A lot of people ask me, well, how do you see silver playing a role? I also think that silver will have a role to fill. It's hard to say what silver is going to do because for the longest time it's been avoided. But silver plays a vital role once we start to see things change drastically around fiat currencies. And right now, as we look at fiat currency systems, they are failing at a major rate, right? Like it's one of the biggest things I've talked about on the channel as well. And everyone has been hinting at what are the BRICS going to do, right? Because they are utilizing gold to challenge the US dollar. Well, again, as we really look at the BRICS, it's not so much about, oh, the reserve currency is going to change overnight. No, listen, the US dollar, it definitely is being challenged. But the problem is all of these other nations, their currencies, their fiat currencies have also failed. The fiat system as we know it has failed. So if all of the BRICS nations are trying to position their currency as a reserve currency as well, or moving away from the US dollar itself, what happens next? This is where we look at what's really going on behind closed doors. Well, CBDCs are the big thing to focus on here. And we know from documents from the IMF that they want to have gold play a role within the SDR range. So if you have a basket of currencies who are, again, CBDCs, and they're backed to a certain weight of gold, settled through DLT, that is how we get to an efficient digital gold-backed system. When we go back over here and we're looking at what's happening, right? Financial repression, nations needing stability, nations moving back against the US dollar. If we have just another reserve currency rise, what is that solving? And that reserve currency has to be extremely stable. It can't be losing its value as much as the US dollar has. And there's not a fiat currency out there that fits that role. So what do we need? Well, we don't need a reserve currency. If we're going to have CBDCs, stablecoins, digital currencies, and we're going to be realizing an instant settlement, it defeats the purpose of a reserve currency. I've talked about this on multiple occasions as well when it comes to XRP, because XRP could essentially kill the idea of a reserve currency in general. But the idea of a gold-backed system has always been something that everyone has been talking about, simply because of what the BRICS have said back even in the summer of 2023, when they were talking about this development of a new currency that could very well be backed by gold. And we have the currency is expected to be backed by gold, a precious metal sought after by BRICS nations since the announcement. With gold on the rise, the precious metal is bullish and will be a battlefield for the US dollar and BRICS moving forward. Now, again, it's all alluring to the idea that, oh, well, you know, the BRICS are killing the US dollar. The BRICS are going after its reserve currency status. And this has always been the idea ever since we announced the sanctions, right? But this is a much larger deal than what they're trying to push. Mainstream media hasn't really started talking about this heavily, but a lot of like the clickbait articles similar to this, I'm not saying that this is a clickbait article because the BRICS are trying to utilize gold, but a lot of these articles are just trying to paint this idea that, oh, the BRICS are going after the dollar, they're trying to kill it, they're trying to replace it. They're not. What we are starting to see is the rise of the new system, which is a gold-backed digital system. Just recently, Zimbabwe actually launched a new gold-backed currency, which kind of hinted at the idea that, yeah, we are about to have a gold-backed system, but we're still some time away. But one thing to mention, right? is where is the CBDCs right now? Well, CBDCs are starting to move in as well. We know that the ECB is trying to push the digital euro. We know just recently that the Federal Reserve Chairman said that the US is not looking into a US CBDC, but we do know that through Executive Order 14067, they've already been in development and progress on a US CBDC since March of 2022, actually a day right after we announced sanctions, which is also why I said like the whole BRICS idea, it's a big psyop, it's a big distraction to make you think that, hey, the BRICS are trying to kill the dollar, we need to, make sure that we are ahead of the game with them. Again, what are the BRICS nations trying to do? They're trying to also look into a CBDC as well. Most of them are already in the progress of a CBDC. This is why I mentioned back in September of 2022, I said CBDCs backed by gold issued on efficient DLTs utilizing a medium of exchange to transact. That medium of exchange could be XRP, could be XLM. It doesn't really matter, right? This is their plan. And this is something that I've been talking about for well over now almost 2 years. And if we look at what HSBC has started to do, they've been moving towards tokenization of gold. In fact, on March 27th, HSBC makes tokenized gold available to Hong Kong retail clients. This is a huge move considering how big HSBC actually is. And we have tokenized gold initiatives. Tokenized gold issued by crypto firms has already surpassed 1 billion in issuance, with Tether as the largest token issuer with a market capitalization of more than 500 million. Paxos Trust is the second largest issuer with almost 400 million. And then this is where we look at Russia as well. Again, all of these major banks are trying to tokenize gold. They're trying to push on the gas pedal, if you will, towards a gold-backed system, essentially with DLT and tokenization being at the forefront. Over here, back in November, in fact, HSBC adds fuel to tokenization fire with gold focus offering. Now, what's funny about this is look at who was a part of this. This is all through the HSBC Orion platform. Guys, this is all tied right back to Medico. You guys already know this. We've talked about it with XRP in the past. Also, tokenization of gold is also offered through Wisdom Tree's blockchain-enabled consumer app. Guys, what application or what blockchain is this application using? Oh yeah, that's right. Wisdom Tree is tied to Stellar and Ethereum. We know that Ethereum is not beneficial in terms of tokenization endeavors, so this could have very well be just Stellar in terms of that tokenization. But we also know that right now tokenization has been one of the biggest talking subjects. It continues to be a red hot narrative around crypto. It will only continue to grow. But as I've said, right, with HSBC working with Medico, this is essentially Ripple, right? What is Ripple focused on? Institutional DeFi initiatives. Guess what Ripple is utilizing for instant settlement and also liquidity on demand? The XRP ledger with XRP. When we look at what's happening here, DLT is playing a vital role. Digital assets, specifically XRP, has a perfect role to fill in terms of a medium of exchange. But also tokenization initiatives through the largest banks out there like HSBC continue to heat up and mainly focusing on gold. Do you question why? Over here, we have HSBC understand the shockwave this will create. HSBC just fired the starting gun. HSBC is but one. Check this out. This is from Chad Steingraber. The 7th largest bank in the world with 2.9 trillion in assets just told you they are taking on digital assets through Ripple and Medico. It will all become tokenized. Look at this. Here we have 2.9, almost $3 trillion in total assets. Headquartered in the UK, HSBC is a prominent banking and financial services organization that caters to millions of customers worldwide. Over here, we have largest banks in the world by country. HSBC, the UK, 3rd largest bank in the world, and 7th largest bank, 7th largest bank in the world with 100 and almost 50 billion in terms of market cap. Over here, we have the largest banks in the world by country. HSBC is the largest in the UK. But outside of all of this, right, HSBC is just one name doing this. We also know that many banks are following in their footsteps, like for example, DZ Bank that is tapped in with Medico Harmonize again, around crypto, digital assets, securities, tokenized securities, all through blockchain. All of these banks are following in line, and these are just 2 banks, right? If you go over to Medico, there's so many banks doing this as well through Medico. But also, here we have from January 12th, 2024, this is Chainlink, how Chainlink enables high integrity tokenized gold markets. Again, we see down here, what is tokenized gold? Here we have physical gold, securely custodied off-chain by financial institutions. Again, a lot of them right now have gold that is custodied. We have tokenized gold. Mint tokens on a blockchain with physical gold reserves unified by Chainlink proof of reserves. This doesn't need to be just Chainlink proof of reserves or anything like that, but this is accurate data behind this. But the thing about this, the main focus point is gold is extremely hard to move physically, right? You tokenize it, again, you are fractionalizing gold into smaller weights of value. This is where everything can be backed by gold. The monetary system itself could be backed by gold again. Here we have the full breakdown of the entire process. You have the gold reserves, you have the gram chain, you have Chainlink network, you have the proof of reserves again, smart contract, and then the minting events. But what's interesting about all of this is like this is happening at a time where it seems as though the fiat currency system is breaking. All of these countries and all of these major nations around the world are moving back against the US dollar. They are looking into gold. Central banks are looking into gold, while central banks are also pushing the narrative of CBDCs and a digital system. We also have the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, talking about tokenization. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Gold will have a major role. Even if I'm wrong on this gold-backed system, right? We still know that gold has been playing a vital role in all of this. We still know that DLT plays a vital role in all of this. We still know that tokenization is playing a vital role in all of this. Pay attention to what is happening. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.